So my question is, right, Lakhani uncle once said to me that you don't need to be like a sannyas to like gain moksha. You can simply gain moksha by being a good person. So by this he means like following the ashrama, so like the brahmacharya ashram, etc. But when you're doing these ashrams, for example, like the grahastha ashram, where you're like trying to provide for your family, you're obviously going to be chasing like materialistic stuff. Like you want your child to do better than the other. It's part of how like life works. But when you chase materialistic stuff, you can't really achieve moksha, because the whole reason of achieving moksha is to realize everything is illusion. So by being a good person, can you really achieve moksha or not?
You see, achieving moksha while living a householder's life or a grahasthi life is not easy. So the answer is with difficulty. The reason is this: you have to get your priorities right. Ramakrishna says something very nice. He said, look, suppose you want to be truly spiritual, first you must look after your own near and dear ones. Because you must start somewhere. So you might say, oh, I'll look after myself. Most people do that. I'll just look after myself. Who cares about my children, etc.? There are people like that in this world. And you all say, no, not our parents. But there are people who say, I just look after myself. They're very self-centered. The idea is to start from, if you like, from your near and dear ones. So you start, if you like, not just looking after yourself, but looking after your family. It may be a nuclear family. Yes, husband, wife, and the bachu and the children to go to Disney World. There's nothing wrong. You are slowly expanding the circle for whom you are caring by saying, not me alone, me and my family. It's the beginning of your spiritual journey. Because why is this called spiritual? You're not like animal kingdom, mostly they look after themselves, even they look after children, mind you. But here in the human kingdom, we start to do it in a very, if you like, in a very focused manner, saying we must look after our family. This is a requirement of dharma. Then he said, don't stop there. Expand the circle of people you feel are your own to take on more and more people. So expand it to say, oh, my community, oh, my greater family, oh, my society, or my neighborhood, or my nation. If you expand the circle of people you call your own, there will still be a priority. You'll be, for example, not be paying the fees of all the children in the school, you'll be paying the fees of your own child. There's a limitation. So it is done with, if you like, great deal of care, and if you like, you have to be kind of use your rational faculties and use your sense of perspective, saying, I want to do well, but I can't pay for everybody. So I start off by paying for my own children. And then I'll pay, if I could extra, I'll adopt somebody or pay for somebody else's fees. Pay somebody else's fees. You know, like Narendra Modi recently, his salary, you know, he's the Chief Minister of Gujarat. He had a salary of, I think, 24 lakh rupees, which is like 25,000 pounds, not a huge salary. He gave it away to educate Gujarati girls who are uneducated, who couldn't afford education. He said, give that money away. See, this is how he's still a grahasthi, he's still earning, he's still, you know, a politician, and yet he's beginning to show a spiritual side to his being by expanding the people for whom he's looking up, for who he's looking after. So he expands the circle of people. So how we do it is this: it is going to be a difficult task, and a sense of perspective, and sometimes you feel you're still a bit selfish. But you must continue to expand and take on looking after, make sure you look after more and more people. But the second thing she said, which worries me, is this: she said, making money. Look, this religion, despite the appearances, is not wedded to poverty. Say, oh, it must be poor. It doesn't teach stuff like that. Since ancient time, it says, creating wealth is a crucial aspect of practicing dharma. The four aims of Hindu life: dharma, artha. Artha means creating wealth. So wealth creation is not vilified. Only take care that the wealth you create is genuine, it's honest, it's with blood and sweat. It's not, you know, by stealing or cheating. Provided you earn money honestly, you create wealth. Suppose you are a farmer, you are growing food, you are a manufacturer, you are a professional, you are a tradesman, you are a teacher, whatever. Through that particular process, you are creating honest wealth. It says create more wealth. It doesn't say less wealth. Because if when you have got wealth, wealth can be a great blessing. Sometimes it can become a curse. If you got great wealth which you use for greater good, it becomes a blessing. So your moksha process goes faster. Suppose you create a lot of wealth and it's a curse. Forget about doing anything good to others. You do weird things yourself because you got too much money. You don't know what to do with it. So you'll misuse it. See, wealth misused. I'm saying blatantly misused. So create wealth, but for the betterment of it. If you do that, then you're going toward moksha. But if you are creating wealth to just have a big show off, you're just being a show off. then that wealth will take you away from moksha. It's a very good question.